already. I just told them we have 15 minutes, so you are here already. So I have time till 7. Okay. She's starting now, but I have to.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Praja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanacharya Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Bolo Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand Bhagwan Ji ki. So a big round of applause for lovely ladies here, singing so beautifully. And beforehand, Lord Ram's, you know. So thank you so much for coming, and happy Sita Appearance Day to you all. My name is Vrnda Vilasini Devi Dāsi, and I shall be speaking just the last verse of from Bhagavatam, the one about Lord Ram, the pastimes of Lord Ram. And we'll have about, say, 40-45 minutes of conversation about Lord Ram, Sita. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the story. So I will need you to do me a favor. Most of you, I don't know, would have probably heard, I don't know if you guys know, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So good. So in between, when we go through various stages, there'll be a stage where we would sing about Ram and Sita, Sita's eyes meeting up and shyly looking at each other and so on. So that's when we will sing that in between, yeah? And we'll start with something which I'm sure most of you probably would have heard again, but I'll explain. It's going to be Mangala Bhavana, Amangala Hari, Dhara Bahu Su, Sudasharath Achara Bihari, which means Lord Ram's name is so pleasing, auspicious, that it actually removes everything and anything that's inauspicious. And then they talk about who is Lord Ram. They say, Achara Bihari. Achar means someone who roams. Bihari is someone who's roaming in the courtyard of Dashrath. Yeah? So very simple meaning. Let's try and feel what Mother Sita went through. We all know the story. We'll go through it. There's always a reason why things happen the way they happen and the way it's been planned by the Lord, because Lord Ram is none other but Lord Vishnu. So all of those things we'll just go through, but every time I start with Mangal Bhav, like that, you guys have to say Ram, Siya Ram. Yes? Pact, contract, yes? Set, we'll do all of that. This is slightly unconventional way of giving class, but I'm sure Sita Mata is very forgiving in one of her qualities when we talk about. So hopefully she'll forgive me. But I felt like I needed to do that, today. So, okay. So if I could just request the Bhagavatam canto, 9th canto, and chapter 10 and verse 55, please. So we'll just read a very brief purport and translation, because we know wherever Ram Sita is, there is happiness. And we want to have a happy ending. Who likes happy ending in life? Yeah? So I'm also one of the sticklers for happy ending. So we'll just talk about that. So it's Canto 9, chapter 10 and verse 55, please. Yeah. Because when you're happy, have you noticed there is no one in this world who does not have to ever suffer calamities, right? I mean, if we think about ourselves, we think we're so hard done by because we've had to go through so much in our life. But think about it, someone who's a princess, someone who is God. Look at Draupadi, look at Gandhari, look at Queen Kunti. Look at Mother Sita. They all made most of their life and went through whatever was thrown in their life. Whether it was suffering, whether it was love, whether it was happiness, whatever it was, we need to change our mindset. If we are happy from inside and we know this is for our good, then we just say, okay, bring it on, Krishna, we'll just carry on. And we'll see if you're testing me, and I'm just going to keep taking Lord Ram's name and see if that works, And maybe my faith in that would grow. But anyway, they've already done the prayers, but I'll just do small ones. We normally do that for Bhagavad Gita. So we'll just do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so translation. Text 55. It should be there. Mother Sita was very submissive. So we already start with the qualities of Sita. Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord. And then translation, a purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki. As the Lord Ramchandra is the ideal husband, Ek Patni Vrata. So Lord Ram was a Kshatriya. He was God on top of that. If he wanted, how many wives he could have had. But he showed by his example, hence the reason Lord Ram is called Maryada Purush. And for someone like Sita, she needed, who had so many qualities, she needed someone who was completely out of this world. In fact, it was Vishnu, Lord Vishnu himself, who could be the husband because of her qualities and her... and then it says, Mother Sita is the ideal wife. Such a combination makes family life very happy. Yad yad achrati shreshthas, tat tad evrato jana. Whatever example a great man sets, common people follow. So this is our Bhagavad Gita verse. If the kings, the leaders, and the brahmanas, the teachers, would set forth the example we receive from Vedic literature, the entire world would be heaven. Indeed, there is no longer the hellish condition within this material world. That is provided our leaders, everyone else tries to put us through and follows like Ram Rajya, which I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen, who can be like Lord Ram. But we can all try, because he is the Maryada Purusha. So whatever he, so we say Krishna is Leela Purushottam, and we say Lord Ram is Maryada Purush. And this is not a class about Lord Ram, but for you to understand how exalted Ma Sita was, we need to know what kind of husband what kind of man was qualified to be her husband, right? So they say that, a lot of people think, oh, Lord Krishna, he was spending time with gopis and he had 16,108 wives, and why can't we do the same? A lot of people want to imitate Lord Krishna. But when you ask them, hang on a minute, what else Lord Krishna did? Who knows about Govardhan Parvat? Which finger did Govardhan? Would you like to tell me? What's your name, Put? Sorry? Nandakishore. Wow, a big round of applause for having a beautiful name like that. Okay, so did Krishna pick up a whole mountain on his finger? Yeah. And how many days, for anyone know? 7 days, right? And how old was he? Komar, like he was a 5-year-old or 5 to 7. Yeah. So can somebody else do that? People who want to imitate Lord Krishna, can they also do that? Can they go and kill all these big demons when they are babies? No. But similarly, the Vishnu in the form of Lord Ram, Krishna is the avatari and Lord Ram was one of the avatars. So when he came, he has given us like an ideal householder. What can we do? So how he has showed with his behavior, that's the one we can imitate in our lives, okay? And there's always good, and there is always, some of us may have perception of this is not good, this is not bad, but please think from their point of view. If you are Lord, you have to be impartial to everyone, and that's how you live your life, because it's got to be an exemplary life, right? Okay, so let's start off with how Sita, you guys already saw a lovely drama, and in there we saw, I'm sure you'd know, Sita was born in a very unconventional, or it's called as miraculous event. Can somebody tell me why is that? Where did she come from? She's also called daughter of earth. Children, anyone know why she's called daughter of earth? Go on then, please. What's your name, son? Sorry, what, Gopal? Jai Gopal, Jai Gopal, Jai Govinda. Go on then, let's see. Do you know why she was called daughter of earth? You mean Janak. Janak, her dad, was plowing the land, and he found in a golden little, the plow stopped, and there was like a box in which he found this beautiful baby girl, and they called her Sita. So Sita's got very many names because she was a daughter of Janak Maharaj, Janaki, Maithili, because that was the kingdom where Janak was, Vedavati, that was her previous birth in which she vowed to come back to take revenge and destroy Ravan because of Ravan's inappropriate behavior with her. And then when we actually Google up some of the stuff, it tells us that it's Sita Mari, which is part of Bihar or Nepal, where her birthplace is, according to, some of the scriptures. So then her birth was very symbolic because it also represents fertility and prosperity, which we all want in our householder's life. Yes, we all want happiness. We all want prosperity. Is that right? We don't want the grief, do we? No, we don't. So ideally, we would like to be in that sort of prosperity sort of mode where we want that, but be ready. And Lord Ram, again, like somebody who could be the husband of Sita, because she was a special child. She was a result of a miraculous event, and she was so special that it was predicted to Janak Maharaj by Narad Muni that she's going to be getting married to Vishnu one day. And one time Janak saw, when she was playing with the ball that went away, she went in and there was a big dhanush, or the big bow that Lord Shiva had given. Now this bow was so big, it needed at least 300 men for it to be picked up and placed. And Janak, to his surprise, he saw that Sita has just literally picked it up and put it on the door, picked up her bowl and come out. So from then onwards, he knew that she needs to be married to only a person who is going to be capable of lifting that bow. And that would be the qualification how they would find her husband. And you all know Lord Ram was one-man woman. He led by example. And at the age of 12, he was one of the Raghuvanshis. He comes in the lineage of Maharaj Katavangu and Raghu, and then Aja and Dashrath, and then Dashrath's son Ram. So after going with the Rishi at the young age, later on, Rishi took him on to Vashishta Rishi, took him to Maithili, where they were going to do Swamvar. So in Swamvar, the girl, but the condition was that whoever can lift that bow. So Sita watched from the balcony or wherever she was stood that everybody else tried, but nobody had the decency of actually praying to the actual bow. And then not only she saw how well-behaved Lord Ram was, how considerate, how well-mannered he was, he then actually sought permission from his guru. What can we do in our life? And they say, whenever you're in trouble and you don't know which direction you should take, what are the 3 things that we should be falling back on? Sadhu, go on then. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. A big round of applause, please. Very well done to you. So, what did Lord Ram do? He also did the same. He actually sought the permission from Vashisht, who nodded to him. He then had his blessings. He prayed to Lord Shiva because it was his big bow. And then he was single-handedly able to pick it up. Not only pick it up, he was able to string the bow, and then it broke when he actually tried to, because of the tension, and it broke. Everybody clapped, right? And then Sita and Sita's eyes met Lord Ram, and then she was very shy. So this is where we're going to do 2 of our Jai Siya Ram like, okay? So I'm going to say Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Drabhu Su Sudashrath Achara Bihari. And if you could please say Ram Siya Ram, we'll do it twice, okay? Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Drabhu Su Sudashrath Achara Bihari. Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari Drabhu Sudashrath Achar Bihari. Twice, please. Oh, Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Say Jai Ram. So wherever the name of the Lord Ram is, all inauspicious things run away. And then let's just sing about where Sita's eyes met Lord Ram's, and she shyly put it down. So if you guys say, go on, you say Ram, Siya Ram, and then I'll sing after you've sung twice. सीता के मन बसियो राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सीता के मन बसियो राम, राम। Right, so it's described in Srimad Bhagavatam that the analogy they've given is like a baby elephant takes 5 minutes to, not even 5 minutes, just few seconds to break the sugarcane stick. That's how quickly Lord Ram was able to break it. And then guess what? They were happily going to be married. Janak Maharaj sent for Dashrath Maharaj. It took him 5 days. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, he explains in one of his lecture that it took him 5 days to come. And then they were like old friends. They talked about it. And then he talked about the prediction that Narad Muni had done about how Sita would be married to a special person, and none other but the Lord Vishnu himself. And that he was so happy and relieved now that she's found someone who's as capable as her. And then they made their way out. Then there was Parshuram fight, which then carried on. And then they carried on going on to their Ram Rajya, like to Ayodhya. And they spent quite a few years together. From then onwards, when Lord Ram was decided to be coronated, guess what? A woman spoils things for another woman, right? Who is known about Kekai and Manthara? Yes? Okay, you've already answered, but you are brilliant. I love your knowledge. Thank you so much. You also had a go. Jay Gopal has also had a go. Let's see, what's your name? Sorry? Oh, wow. Okay. So do you want to tell me what happened? Yeah. I know you know. Yeah. She felt jealous that Lord Ram would be becoming a king, and how then Lord Ram's going to give all his attention to Lord Ram's mom instead of Kekai. So then Manthara, who was one of her maidservants, kept filling her ears until she decided that she wanted her own son Bharat to be throned. And Bharat wasn't there, poor guy, otherwise he would have stopped his mom, because he loved Lord Ram. And even she loved Lord Ram, but for some reason, this was supposed to be happening. As you imagine, when these things happen, we all know, in Guru Maharaj always says, these things are enacted. It's not myth. They are actually histories. They actually happened. These are the events that's happened. But for any great movie or any great drama, there's always a hero, which is Lord Ram. Always a villain. Who's here villain? Ravan. And then all the friends and heroine, obviously Sita, Mother Sita. Why is she heroine? Because she put up with all those tribulations all by herself. Even though she was princess, she did not complain. So then, few years later, when obviously Lord Ram was very obedient, he said, it doesn't matter whether I get the kingdom or not, but I am going to. There is another one that they say, Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Ai, Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. And then again we'll do Ram Siya Ram. So basically, in there, Lord Sita is, he decides to go and says, being an obedient son, says, I'm going to go to forest for 14 years, not a problem. And he didn't want Sita to come. And so he tells Sita, सीता को समझाए राम मेरी सीख सुनो सिया सुन लीजो. So if you do Ram Siya Ram, I'll get it correct, okay? Go on then, please do Ram Siya Ram then. Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. सीता को समझाते राम. One more time. मेरी सीख सिया सुन लीजो सास ससुर की सेवा कीजो. Ram Siya Ram, रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए. Ram Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So he told Sita that you should stay, you're a princess, you're not used to anything hardship, but although Sita had all the good qualities in her behavior, and she was very pretty, she was a princess, she had very good nature, she was goddess of fortune, she was very tolerating, very forgiving, but this is where she refused to listen to her husband. Because I don't know if you've ever heard, like in Hindi they say, डूबते वाले को तिनके का सहारा बहुत होता है. Someone who's drowning, if you just offer them little help, even that could be saving their life sometimes. So not only that, she knew Ram is capable in every way. And she also decided, she said no, she stood up for herself. She said, I want to be where you are, because for me, even this palace, all the fortune, all the wealth is not going to be like anything I can enjoy. It'll be like hell if I am without you, right? So she was very good. She gave up everything and she said, I was ready to go forest with you. And she wanted to do service for Lord Ram rather than serving the people who had put her husband out to forest. Because if she would have also stayed, she probably would have, which she probably, I don't know whether she would have minded or not, but she would rather serve her husband than, and be there to support him. So then, one of the one of the stuff that we heard Charles Darwin said, it's not the strongest and it's not even the most intelligent who survive, but the one who is most responsive to change can survive. Yes, have you heard about that? Charles Darwin said that one time. And in this, Lord Ram knew she was going to be tolerating, so she gave up all her princess's outfit and she carried on. So who's heard that verse 2.14 in Bhagavad Gita? 2.14, anyone? Go on then. Shall we have our scholar here? A big round of applause, please. Do you know? Go on then. Thank you. What's your name again? Nand Kishore would know this by heart, please. I mean, are you guys surprised? 2.14. So yes, these are the children in our movement, what Srila Prabhupada has now invested into. And these guys are so pious because they've done all these previous pious karmas and then they take birth. So wherever their devotion is finished, this is our crop. This is our cultivation of Srila Prabhupada's efforts from 1977 and 70s, you know. So yeah, Matra Sparshastu Konteya Sitoshana Sukha Dukkhada Agham Paina Nityas Kim Titiksava Bharata. One who can tolerate happiness and distress. And because they are just like the seasons of summer and winter. When summer comes, you have to tolerate. Then winter comes, you have to tolerate. You can't chop and change the weather, can you? All you can do is tolerate. So we need to get thinking like, okay, I need to also do that. And this is where I would like to go to mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. We know he has given us this vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Bhakti Saraswati Swami, and then His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and my Guru Maharaj, D.M. Maharaj, who was going to go preach in America, so that people can read up books, people can know the goal of their life, people can know all that you already know, you know. So he then mentioned about the center of book distribution. He gave his most emphasis on. And this is not a story, this is a real thing that I'm going to tell you. What happened to me one time, I'm like scatterbrained sometimes. I had a service Sunday morning to dress Gauranitai. And I recall I came in for Mother's Day, and this next Sunday, I don't know what happened. I had a little bit of toothache, combined all that confusion, blah, blah, old age, everything else. Next thing I know, I arrived here 4:30 a.m. thinking I'm getting late, I need to go in. Because we have to start dressing 4:30 a.m. till 7, yeah? So I went in, and to my surprise, I saw this other devotee Prabhu who alternates with me. So 1 week he does, 1 week I do. And I thought to myself, I honestly couldn't remember that it was his chance, but I thought better not ask him, because you don't speak too much when you go in there. You all got service mode on, and you don't want to be talking, arguing, anything like that. First thing in the morning. So I got a bit surprised, but I thought I'll leave him alone. Then it dawned on me, oh my God, I'm thinking he's mistaken, but it's me. I'd done it last week and I couldn't remember. So I came back here and I thought, you know what? I was so ill and stuff, so I'll probably go back soon. But now that I'm here, I might as well attend Mangal Aarti. And then when I was attending Mangal Aarti, and then I thought, okay, finished around 5, people were going to then sit down and do their japa, which is the most important part of your day, because if they say to the degree you can pay attention to your japa, to that degree you are then coming close to Krishna, because you're associating with him through your ears, eyes, your senses and heart. And to that degree then Krishna makes things progressive in your bhakti, right? So anyway, I thought to myself, today I have lots to be doing, so I'm going to leave. As I was leaving, there was this black lady from, I think, Zimbabwe. And she was stood outside in her trousers and everything. She goes, oh gosh, I missed it all. I've missed it all. And I said, what happened? She stopped me and she goes, could you tell me if it's all finished? I've come all the way from, I can't remember where she said, Collindale, I think. And she said, but it's all finished. And I said, listen, nothing's finished. This is the best part of the day. I can get you japa beads. I have some in my car and they also have it here, so somebody else would look after her. So I said, go in and do chanting. Don't worry about it. You haven't missed anything. So she goes, this is my second time I've come. I said, okay. So I went in and I brought japa beads. She was already sat here chanting. And I thought, wow, that's good. She was deep in her trance. And I felt ashamed that I'm thinking of going and then my chanting is not going to be the same. So I thought, let me also chant. So I kept going around Tulsi Maharani and started doing my chanting, so I can have it finished, so I can do other things that I think are more important, right? That's the stupid buddhi that I have. I should be thinking this is foremost. But even after this many years, you think, I want to finish it so I can go. Anyway, whilst I was doing that, I sat down for a bit. she was deep in a trance. And when I sat down next to her without making any noise, she opened her eyes and then she asked me a question which put a doubt in my mind that does she even know what mantra she should be doing? Because she didn't know who were placed on our altar. She didn't know Lord Ram. She knew she had come previous day on festival. I was saying to a couple of Matajis who come regularly, look, I made such a mistake. I made a boo-boo. I came here. It's not my chance and I just turned up like feeling stupid myself. I didn't realize that this was the lady. Then I said to her, do you want to tell me what mantra you're doing? Because she had her eyes closed and she was softly chanting. And she goes, I don't know what it is. I'm chanting and I feel like all my problems from previous things, the hardships I've had, they are disappearing. I'm healing. And I said, I told you this is the most important things to do. And I wish I could also chant like her. Because I don't have any of these things happening to me, lovely things. But I said to her, let me test her. So I said to her, what is the mantra that you're chanting? Because she said she'd forgotten her rosary beads on the side of her bed. And I said, oh, okay. And I thought maybe she wouldn't know. And what did she say? She said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Perfect. Without any problems. And I thought to myself, oh my God, so she knows what she's doing. So I left her. Then she had some more question and she started talking to me. And I said, look, the etiquette is that we should go out to talk. Everybody else is chanting. Let's go out. From then onwards, I realized, I said, so how did you get into this? She goes, I have come only once before. I went to Scotland on a holiday. She was some sort of doctor. She goes, I went to Scotland and there was a charity shop and there was this book on the shelf called Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. She goes, that was the man, his name, because when I mentioned Srila Prabhupada, she goes, oh yeah, that's the man, it says underneath. I said, so how did you know the mantra? Because I know it doesn't say, like, obviously it says in purport, but she goes, in there was a card. So think about it. Srila Prabhupada had that insight of distributing Bhagavad Gitas and those little cards. And I was so surprised and taken aback. And I was so pleased, like, how Krishna has made arrangements for her to come, because she goes, I've had this book since September. I don't know any of the other things. I've tried to read, but I do this chanting all the time. And she goes, for some reason, I felt like I needed to come here, right? And then she asked me many questions about, Lord Ram, who's that, who's this. The last time she came, who's the people in the center. I explained to her it was Gaur Purnima and look how auspicious and this is what you're doing. And then I was going to leave her and then Kripamoya Prabhu walked aside. And I was thinking, it doesn't look nice that I ask her for a number. I know I'm one of the mentors, but I thought, what would she think that I'm trying to? But I said to her, if you need any help, and once you start doing 4 rounds, we can actually have in our mentorship group, you can just join us online. And then he goes to me, make sure you take her number, because it's a festival day. You don't want her to get lost. So that's how I kept her number. And then I thought, I don't know, this happened. And after that, I went back. And 2 or 3 days later, I wasn't even sure whether this happened to me too early in the morning. You think, oh, if I just imagined. And next thing I know, 3 days later, I had a beautiful text thanking me about how I've explained and how she understood and how she's so thankful and, all these things. And I was thinking, there's me thinking I've made a mistake. And I couldn't think, that verse that comes 15:15, Sarvasya Chaham Riddhisya Nivisto, that from us, we don't have any memory, and remembrance comes from who? Lord Krishna. And forgetfulness also comes from him, because he's the essence of all Vedas. And that's when I realized that this was the plan for her, because she could have stopped anybody else. I was going to go home, but she stopped me. So I was supposed to maybe play a little bit of an instrument's role and so on. So please don't think that sometimes, we do it. Srila Prabhupada's done so much for us. He's given us regulative principles. He's given us some permanent assets. Everything else that we're going to earn, and Lord Sita Mata and Lord Ram, as you know, little Hanuman was able to burn Lanka, right? What was Lanka made up of? Gold, right? Permanent assets. How hard somebody would have worked. And we work so hard to have big, big mansions, buildings, all of these things. But guess what? Our permanent asset that Srila Prabhupada's given us is chanting, going for the real thing like bhakti. And we should equip ourselves with questions and qualities that make us strong, like Lord Ram, like Sita, Mother Sita, because Srila Prabhupada has given us direct ways. You know, indirect way, we always hear, this body in the scriptures, and then soul finds activities which are pleasing, and that we should serve Krishna by surrendering. We can invoke the dormant nature. But Srila Prabhupada has given us direct way. He said, see what Krishna's service is. Just put your services to Krishna, see what he wants us to do. Then Krishna will give us intelligence, which it says in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. It's part of Chaturshaloki. Tesham satatam yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upyantitam. To those who are devoted or constantly devoted to serving me, I give them, or serving me with love. That's the important thing. So we want to serve Lord Ram with love. We want to serve Lord Sita, Mother Sita with love. To those, I give them the understanding by which he can come. So we don't need to know scriptures. Look what happened in the case of that lady's name was Haru. She came. Haru came without knowing anything. But Krishna gave her that buddhi to come 4:30 a.m. in dark, cold nights to come here to have darshan and meet someone. So book distribution, chanting, healing, all these things are very, very important that Srila Prabhupada has given us. And by reading those, we can get qualities of Sita Mai. So Sita Mai was tolerating, like I mentioned, and was then, we know that she refused when she was a girl of nature anyway, so she was very easily accommodating. She was friends with all the animals, plants, and carried on tolerating and served Lord Ram. Then Badi Raman came, and he forcefully took, but our acharyas have explained that he never touched her because this was Maya Sita that actually went instead, and she was hidden in the fire. And Sita's mother is earth, and fire is very pure. So, in a way, who doesn't like to go back to their mothers? So, to us, it appears, like when we all know the history, that Sita was the cause of Ravan's downfall, because Sita was so elevated, and we know from her previous birth, she had said that she will be the downfall of and the killing of Ravana. So look how strong he was, how he had boons everywhere. But because of his behavior, he ended up getting on the wrong side of saintly people like Sita or Vedavati and Lord Ram. And Lord Ram was so kind that he didn't even take out thorns which were on his foot. He said, these thorns have come into my people who surrender to me. I cannot take them off, even if they are thorns. And look, the Ravan's brother came. He was okay. He was saved. But Ravan didn't come because of his ego. In the end, what happened? He ended up getting destructed, or his Lanka getting burnt, and he got destroyed. He died. And so other chaste women, like Mandodari, his wife, and everybody said, you had absolutely everything, but because you behaved like this with a chaste woman, and Mother Sita has got so many qualities. If she wanted, she could have just done everything and destroyed him. But she said, I don't have Lord Ram's order or his authorization as yet. And even when Lord Hanuman came, she was so chaste, she said, if I go jump on the back of Hanuman and he flies me to safety, what would people say about me and my husband? That he couldn't even save me. So she actually stayed on, and in the end we all know how Lord Ram comes and he destroys Ravana and his armies, and poor monkeys had absolutely nothing on them. But because Ravan was cursed, even the throwing of the stones of monkeys was a big match for Lanka's soldiers who had absolutely everything. Because again, the righteous people win. You need to be siding with the people who are pious, who are righteous, right? Who are fighting for the just cause, right? So, and that's how we know Lord Ram's reputation carried on. Hanuman ultimately, was helping Lord Ram to come back, and he's very, very merciful. Just to give you 5 more minutes about it was my husband's 60th couple of years ago, and I decided that there was going to be Ram Lalaji was going to be unveiled. And I thought I'd want to do something different for my husband so that he can remember his 60th. I had no ideas. The planes were being cancelled. Everything was being cancelled. And I said to Lord Ram, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm coming with my husband to have darshan. Let's see. If you want us having it, it'll happen. If it doesn't, then it won't. And you won't believe it. Everything we were trying, cancel. The one flight, even to the end, pilot said, because all these high-profile people were flying in Ayodhya. Ayodhya has got a very small airport. They said, we may be diverted to Lucknow, which is the next airport. And we thought, oh my God. I'd managed to get one booking, and there was no taxi. So we landed with Lord Ram and Lord, I was just saying, Hanumanji, please, you make it possible for me. And we ended up, would you believe it, we didn't have the darshan that night, but we came there, we had to walk, there was no taxis, nothing, but we had darshan next morning of the beautiful Ram Lalaji in Ayodhya. And so, people like us, like I'm not pious in any way, and even then Krishna and Lord Ram fulfills our wishes, let alone people like Lord, Sita Mai and all the other, if we can be on the right side of and we can actually always be surrendered to Lord Ram. So let's just do Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram, Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari, Drabhu Sudarshan Dashrath Achar Bihari, Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. And I'd like to end on the fact that in Bhagavatam 1.2.8 says, Shrama hi eva kevalam. Srila Prabhupada has said, in our lives, if we're going to be if we're going to be surrendered to Lord Ram, Mother Sita, we would then be making something out of our life. Otherwise, our life is, this is 1 and a 0 in front. Nothing, no value. If this is 1 and there's 0, it becomes 10 or 1,000 or 100, like that. Because otherwise we're doing Shrama hi eva kevalam. Bhagavatam says a verse that irrespective of what else you have, if you don't have that one asset in material world, which is the bhakti of the Lord. So I pray that you guys can always come here, take the association of Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Lord Krishna, Radharani, and always be happy, blissful, and always be full of bhakti in your life. Yeah? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ramayan ki, Bhagavad Gita as it is ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Guru Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So there's only 5 minutes left. If anybody's got a quick question, I can answer. Otherwise, we need to get ready for Aarti. And thank you so much for coming. Is there any quick questions? No. So a big round of applause to you all for being my lovely helpers who's allowed me to then do this class. Yeah? Thank you again. Hare Krishna. can take this on that side only. And of course, where is he gone? Where is he gone? Come here, come here. I wish all children are going to be like this. And obviously, very well done. Thank you. Who's doing arti? They're probably coming. So thank you guys. Thank you. Hari Om.
Okay.
Really? Fantastic. Non very open.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I love. અલે બીજા ત્રણે ત્રણે કાઢી
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
અરે બોલી ટીકા વાજે ઉમર
जय श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की, जय श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की, जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे।